Is everybody ready to go? All the cameras on. Everybody's mics working.
Film loaded.
Ready to go.
Ready to go.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us today. We're sorry for the short notice. Obviously, this is something that we've been anticipating for a long time. It's a historic day for the Arkansas Lottery. The largest jackpot in the history of this lottery the ticket for that was sold on the day before April Fool's Day, and we have been eagerly anticipating the winners for some time. So we're here today to introduce you to those winners. A little catch. They are a delightful couple. They're from Lubbock, Texas. Their son will be speaking for them. We invite you to ask some questions of them. I will try and answer any questions you have. But without further ado, let me welcome in Mr. Eliberto and Anita Cantu and their son Rodrigo. They are here today. They arrived at about 12:30, just like they said they would. They are an absolute wonderful couple, and we are so happy to have them here today. So we got the ticket. It has been validated. For the purpose of those of you reporting, let me pull my phone out and read you off the actual amounts that they were paid. They chose to take the lump sum. So today they will be leaving here with the check. Do you have the check yet? Have they given it to you yet? All right, so it's all done. They will be leaving here with a check in the amount of $72,901,274, which is pretty incredible. For the sake of those who wonder, the state of Arkansas will get taxes in the amount of $7,504,543. I don't think they're all that happy about that, but it is a boost to the state of Arkansas. Yeah. So just from a purely selfish standpoint, there's really two great things about my job. One of them is I get to meet the students and the families that are affected by the scholarships, and the other thing is I get to meet the winners. And I can tell you that this is the first winner I've met that really, this is a generational change in their life. Their children are here. They are just an absolutely fun family. We set up my office for about an hour and talked to them. So without further ado, I'm going to have Rodrigo come up here, and you can ask him questions or ask me questions. I'm happy to help him answer anything I have. You give them your full name.
Rodrigo Cantu. It's RODRIGOCANTU.
Can you spell your parents' name as well?
My dad is Eliberto, it's ELIBERTO. My mom is Anita, common spelling, ANITA.
Gotcha. And what was it like for them to win this ticket here?
They just like that, they still don't believe it.
A blessing.
So we know it's definitely a blessing, but they still don't believe it. Even though we just held the check and took pictures with it, it's still kind of unreal right now.
Gotcha.
What do they plan to do with the money?
There's several different things though. There's 6 siblings in our family, so I've got 3 older sisters, and there's 3 brothers. We've got 17 nieces and nephews, great nieces and nephews. So they're doing a lot for the family. But on top of that, their first priority, they've been going to the same church for about 35 years, and the church is going to be leveled and be rebuilt. And the sister church of that church is also going to be leveled and be rebuilt. So they're going to spend quite a bit of it on building 2 churches.
What churches are you talking about?
It's in our hometown.
Can you say what churches?
Bethel Baptist Church in Abernathy. And the other one will be in Post.
And what's the name of that church?
Yeah, it's just such a church they go to. I'm not sure what the name of it is.
So how did who bought the ticket?
My dad works, he's been working construction for 50 years or so. He's 71 years old now. Their construction job, it travels from town to town through Texas, Oklahoma, sometimes New Mexico, and Arkansas. They travel around in a little travel trailer, so they just kind of go from job to job. They were here for about 5 weeks outside of Hazen, in a little brand new RV park just outside of Hazen. He goes to work at 6:30 in the morning, goes in at 7, gets to the store at about 6:30 in the morning, and he just happened to stop at that, he buys tickets quite a bit, and that morning he stopped at that Valero gas station. His co-workers didn't want to stop, but he convinced them to stop so he can get a lottery ticket and a coffee. And so that's what he bought. He's been playing since Texas started their lottery, so quite a while. Usually cash 5 and quick picks on Mega Millions.
So what the construction project he was working on was?
That's the new power line that's going through here through Stuttgart. So it's just
New power
lines.
Power lines.
Service.
Yeah. So they're replacing, I think it's 40 poles. There's 40 poles that are being replaced there.
So, sorry, I'm 53, how old are your parents?
71 and 68. 67. 61, 7.
Oh.
Well, what do you do for a living? Do you live in
First mistake,
Lubbock too?
I'm sorry?
Do you live in Lubbock too? What
I do
you
not. I live in the Dallas area.
Dallas area.
They won a $3 ticket too.
That same ticket had a quick big check mega flight, so they won $3 off it as well.
How much does the state get out of that?
Out of the $3? Zero. We'll take the 7.5.
So are they gonna continue to play Mega Millions, or just like day one, so we're just gonna quit?
I'm sure keep playing. You can't break a 30-year-old habit. We play. I don't check my tickets like they do. I usually find them in my wallet a few weeks later. So if it was me, you still wouldn't know because it'd still be
So
a few weeks later.
how much do your parents buy, or I guess dad, a week?
Just about $6 a week.
Okay.
Sometimes fluctuates. He did buy 180 tickets one time and got no money out of it. So kind of plays off.
We don't report that.
So when did your family realize that he won?
The very next morning, I was in Dallas. My dad called me and told me he tried checking his ticket at a gas station, and they wouldn't. It was blocked. They told him that he had to come here to check it. So he called me wondering why the ticket couldn't be checked. So he gave me the numbers. I got my wife's phone and typed in the numbers into her phone while I got on the internet with mine, and I saw that they completely matched. So about the same time, I tried calling him back, and he wasn't answering. Turns out he had dropped my mom off at a flea market, because they go to flea markets quite a bit, and he called her to tell her that he'd back it up a little bit. He went back to a gas station and got the printout that tells you what the winning numbers are, so he realized he won. Went and he called my mom and told her he won. She said, "You're crazy, get in here, there's some movies for $1.25. He said, "We don't need movies." She said, "You're crazy, get in here." So she went in there. About the same time I called them, and I told them, I said, "Hey, you got winning numbers, you matched, don't call anybody, don't tell anybody." So that's kind of how they found out that they were the winners very next morning.
Tell them about going back to the gas station.
I drove from Dallas that same day. About 5 hours later, I arrived here. So my dad, I was here for a few days with them, trying to settle things out. They gave away to make it legal, they sold their travel trailer for $1 to one of the co-workers. And then my dad and we went back to that Valero Tuesday morning after the lottery. About the same time, the same girl was there, so we talked to her. I asked her if they knew who the winner was. She said they tried figuring it out. They know the ticket was sold Friday morning. She said they thought they knew pretty much who it was, and my dad said, "No, they're wrong. I bought it Thursday morning at 6:30. She said, "Oh, that's funny," and he said, "You're looking at the winner." And she didn't believe him, so I showed her a picture of the ticket, and she immediately started crying. We gave her a little bit of money, and we left and came back and gave her a little bit more. But she was very, very thankful, and that was surprised that it was my dad that won that won. And that we told her, please don't tell anybody, because we didn't want it to become public. We didn't want them to look at the cameras and see that it was actually us walking in. But I told my dad expected to be on the news that night, and thankfully it wasn't. She kept her word. She didn't tell anybody, so y'all still didn't know who it was until now.
Why wait so long? Why wait this long?
Lots of lawyers, accountants, a lot of money. You can't just come and claim a ticket. We actually drove by. We drove by Saturday morning. We drove by Monday morning, and we saw some of the press here. So I wanted to see what it looked like, the layout of the area, and what banks were nearby. After we found out that you guys don't wire the money, you actually got to get checked, which is kind of weird.
Sorry.
It's very daunting to be taking this amount of check on an airplane. But that's why we waited. We spoke to many lawyers, financial planners, got everything situated, everything set. It was also fun to listen to y'all guess the game and all the rumors that were out there. It's pretty neat. I made copies and laminated all those stories, and they now have a binder, and we'll add more to it. So they got a binder so we can show this to our, kids, great grandkids, all the way down the line. So that's mainly what it was. It wasn't to keep you in suspense. It was everything's got to be in order. It's a lot of money, so you got to make sure everything is right. Down to security for my parents once this gets out. So there's a lot that has to take place in order to make it right.
Has it sinked in that your lives have basically changed forever at this point?
It's sunk in with me. It hasn't sunk in with them. They're very grateful. I mean, it's a great blessing, as you know. They've been going to church for 45 years. They've been married 53 years. So they've been going to church for many, many years. So it's a definite blessing. It's sunk in with some of us, with some of our siblings. Yesterday we flew into our hometown, and we actually had Easter with everybody there. So we had our discussion on, you know, what to expect in the next years to come and how to make this last for not just being rich, but being wealthy, turn it into investments and all. So we were able to be together as a complete family and talk about it all. And it's kind of sunk in for some. My mom still doesn't believe it. Even though she just held the check, she's got to actually see it in the account. But the flip side of that, they've never had a credit card. They've never written a check. It's all through money orders. My dad just started using a debit card a couple years ago, so I don't know if it'll ever sink in with them. It's just nice, and they're definitely blessed that they get to do things for the church. They've already bought them a van, kind of surprisingly, a van they were going to pay for, and the pastor was given the paperwork saying you actually don't have a note on it. It's been covered, and the church just told yesterday, they just told the congregation who the anonymous people were, because we knew it was going to come out on the news, so we went ahead and let the church know yesterday when we were there for Easter service. What
denomination is the church?
Baptist. It's a predominantly African-American church. I think they're the only non-African-American family in there. So it's something they really enjoy. They've been going to quite a bit.
So are you going to continue to work?
Absolutely. I've got a real estate company. I've got a staffing agency. I'm working. This doesn't stop me from working.
You want to put in a plug for the website?
Some of my other siblings, they've got other stuff that they want to do now, which is great. They don't have to punch a clock. You know, I don't punch a clock as it is, but you know, we do some real estate investments and some other stuff. So I'm going to keep working.
Did they choose the numbers or did the machine?
It's a quick pick.
Okay.
Yeah, he used to choose the numbers, but it got too complicated, throwing birthdays, and he doesn't remember half of them like I don't. So
I was gonna say, what's the secret? Doing it 30 years. Yeah.
Saying, "Give me a quick pick." That's the secret.
Okay.
He was working construction. He's been working up till I had to convince him not to go back to work, but they did owe him 5 hours of a past check and 2 weeks vacation. So he wanted that 2 week vacation, and it's good that he doesn't have to go back. He woke up the other morning at 5:30, getting ready for work, and realized that he didn't have to go to work anymore.
Okay.
So it's going to be great. We're putting them on flights and just flying them all around and letting them do things with us that they didn't get to do before. My dad's been working since I can remember. So it's a lot of times of being away from home and him coming home on weekends. So now we actually get to do stuff together.
Are there any places in particular that they have expressed wanting to go visit?
They have no clue where I'm going to be taking them over the next few years. It's going to be a lot of flights, a lot of fun. I've traveled around quite a bit, so they're going to go see some of the stuff that I've been able to see.
You mentioned the state taxes. How much are the federal taxes?
That's the one we don't like.
$26,801,939.
Does that include the extra 10 for next year they're going to be taking?
Probably so.
There's another 10, so
Yeah,
it's going
it'll
to
be a little bit more before it's all said and done. Sounds like you'll have some write-offs though, maybe, so.
We'll keep having
Some
them. That's the
charitable
goal.
contributions.
That's the goal.
Oh, yeah. Any other questions at this point? We don't
You guys
do.
I just kind of wondered, you have this big jackpot winner. Do you get any, have you seen an uptick in sales from people seeing that? And
I think what you'll see is until the winner came forward and they actually see a face and really believe. I mean, it's the citizens here are just like them. They don't believe it until they see it.
Right.
And now they're going to see it. And now they're going to understand that these people came to Arkansas, bought a ticket, and won $177 million or $72 million. I think you'll see now that you'll start seeing a difference. Obviously, we're very grateful for them doing this publicity because winter awareness is huge with us, and people will see their faces, and I think that you're probably going to see a difference because all we hear in a lot of our focus groups is that we don't have any big winners from Arkansas. Well, you know, in Arkansas, it doesn't happen anymore. So we sold a ticket here, and somebody won $177 million. So I think you'll see a difference. Oh, we'll get a big check. So can you fit this in the binder?
Let's squeeze it in the overhead department.
Can you get this in the blank? Oh, sorry. The advertising people tell me what to do. Is it real yet?
I'm taking the different names though, right?
She told me that it wasn't going to be real until she actually saw the account balance. I told her just a fun trick would be to go to the ATM and check her balance and then leave that slip behind so the next person would see somebody had $72 million in their account. She said she wasn't going to do that.
She's so short, it's not-
Her balance is going to be out $200,000. The rest is gone. It's another place. It won't be for you. Look over your phone. You take it right here, phone.
I don't know.
Candy.
Don't want someone to
All I have to say is thank the Lord that we're blessed and keep buying other tickets.
Thank you so much. You want a picture? No? All right. Is there any other questions of us? You want to take this with you?
No, you can have it.
Sure. What a giver.
What a giver.
We'll take that.
Yeah, it's for you.
I'm gonna fold it up.
We can mail it to you.
Can you?
Sure.
Okay.
Whatever you
We'll pay for
want.
shipping if you want.
Whatever you want. Not a problem at all. Does anybody have any other questions? I think we have your press packets, so we got
There's the media kit.
media kits, and we're happy to answer any questions. And we are so thankful for our winners and for them sitting here and doing this for us today. It is extraordinary.
Move over here with you
Yes.
for a couple of minutes. No, just over there with you. And
Come on over here.
just a little handshaking and things.
All right. We're supposed to get a picture together, shaking hands.
You too. You too.
He's only got one man.
We're from Texas, it's community property, half and half.
Hey, well, you want to give the money for the county fund?
Yes, absolutely. You're probably helping us raise money for scholarships right now.
Guarantee you.
One of my granddaughters. All my grandkids, they're going to college.
We'll just move them here and we'll get the lottery scholarship.
Everyone good? Got what you need? Thank you.
All right, guys.
Thank you all.
Thank you very much.